All right, just wanted to make a quick video about this individual who I believe is a targeted individual. His name is Corey Cobb. There was a report the other night that there was a police involved shooting. I think three officers got shot, one got killed, and this guy here was the individual who got into the confrontation with law enforcement. So what made me believe that this guy's a targeted individual is just when you look at the facts of what's being said, it's indicative. It goes right in line with a lot of the claims that most targeted individuals talk about. The element of being followed, the element of the presence of uh, law enforcement and unmarked police vehicles following certain individuals for no apparent reason, right? But we know what the real reason is. There's a lot of us that are on these government false watch lists, and what's happening is you have a lot of people, these billionaires, millionaires, people that have money. They can basically pay law enforcement. They can pay the intelligence agencies to come after their enemies or anyone that they deem as a threat. There's a plethora of reasons why people would be on a watch list. It could range anywhere from, having spiritual abilities, which I believe that I'm the reason that I'm on the watch list is because of that. Also, there's situations where you might have pissed off a person in power. Um, there's just various reasons. So whenever they investigate you, they profile you, right? They learn everything about your life. So that's how they're able to fashion the targeting around your life. And it always involves the stalking, what the internet calls gang stalking, or organized stalking and harassment, or stalking by proxy. There's just various names that they use for this illegal activity. And it is indeed illegal. It's RICO crimes at its finest. This is organized criminal activity. And they get people in and around your life to engage in this activity to basically destroy you. That's ultimately what it is. They want to put you under so much stress. They want to systematically disenfranchise your life to the point to where you end up doing something that will end you up in jail. It's all psychological harassment, psychological mind games. And if they can get you to do something stupid, um, to destroy yourself, all the better for them. That takes away the light from them, right? So I just wanted to play this. I thought this was very interesting. Yet again, another video. Gang stalking is being reported in the media. They're not calling it gang stalking, but those of us that have been survivors of this for many years and know the signs and symptoms of this. I don't say maybe symptoms is the wrong word because they'll try to say, oh, it's mental illness. None of this shit is mental illness. There are people systematically out there provoking people to anger and messing up their lives. And then when this person snaps, they'll point the finger and say, oh, we told you this person was crazy. But nothing is being reported as to these corrupt law enforcement agencies following people around, sending their confidential informants out to fuck with you. Then when they cross the line and you stand up for yourself, all of a sudden you've committed a crime. So more and more, there are more people complaining about this shit. So again, I ask, or let me make this statement: there's enough evidence on social media about this shit that's happening. What are we gonna do about it? I'm tired of posting footage of evidence, of proof of this shit. It's like, what's the point? What's being done about it?
Investigates has
Every
gathered
day, every day, more and more people are dying, being taken out for no fucking reason. People that mind their own business, stay to themselves, just want to work and make a living. And this is what's happening. I've been dealing with this shit since 2014. That's when I became aware of it. I've been dealing with this since I was a kid, being watched, having certain individuals placed around me to try to manipulate and control the direction of my life. When you come into the awareness of this happening to you, it causes you to look back on your life and you can then see and connect the dots of all the things that was happening back then prior to the overt awareness of your harassment, right? You can look back on your life and connect the dots and say, that's why I had such a hard time. What appeared to be as bad luck, which really wasn't bad luck. You have people that are assigned to certain individuals in this world to try to control them because these are people that are free thinkers. These are people that can't be controlled. They think outside the box. These people are not violent people. I'm not a violent person. I will stand up for myself and protect myself any day of the week, but we are not violent people. I am not part of the herd. most of us that are targeting going through this shit, we're not part of the herd mentality. We're not part of the hive. We think for ourselves. We think outside the box. So these are the type of people that they go after and they try to destroy. You know, anybody with spiritual abilities, intuitive gifts, anything that can expose the realm of darkness in this world, the human trafficking, the child traffickers. I mean, there's so many elements to this thing, man, and I'm just trying to expose it. That's all I'm trying to do. But let's go ahead and listen to this news investigation here. This is the guy's father. So the dude's name is Corey Cobb-Bey. He appeared to be one of these like Moorish guys that are into like the Moorish belief system, the sovereign citizen type thing. Let's see. So that's him right there. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play with his. This is his father. All right. Um, who knows? Maybe this whole story might be a psyop, but I just find it very interesting when you hear about what's being said. It lines perfectly with the claims of targeted individuals. We all can't be crazy, right? We all can't be crazy. So let's listen to what his father said about the whole incident with law enforcement and the shootings. And they ultimately they killed him. They killed he got into a shootout with police. Many against one, of course. What do you expect? You're gonna get killed, right? So let me play this.
Last night when it was about almost midnight or something like that, police came by and said that they were doing a welfare check or something, to see if we was okay and all this kind of stuff. And they just wouldn't tell us, what was going on with it, and they sat out here and they went through the back and, just, shining lights and trying to see who all in the house and all that kind of stuff. Then they just stayed outside, for the remainder of the night.
And then at some point they got this search warrant and started looking. What did they look for? What did they pull?
The only thing I could see that they got was his computer, and I think he had a couple of clips or something, of from his gun and stuff.
Did you know he had a gun?
Yeah, I knew he had, but I never, knew he rode with him or had him in the car with him or anything like that.
When you found out what police say he did, that he was involved in hurting some police officers,
right?
What do you think?
Well, I was asking him, most of the night, what's going on, why they, had my family up and all this kind of stuff. And matter of fact, I didn't find out till about almost 8:30, almost 9 o'clock this morning when they actually told me. But I went online and started looking and all that, and I kind of, called my brother, and he kind of informed me that he seen this police chase and all this stuff, and that it looked like my son's car.
That sound like something your son would be involved in?
No. He's a truck driver too, and I don't know. I don't have any idea what happened. What was going through his mind or whatever. But he had just recently lost his job or something, and that might have taken a little toll on him. But that's basically, all I know about that.
You were telling me that his behavior had changed in the last few days.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if because he was talking about he's into this Muslim stuff and all this stuff, and he kind of feel like somebody was chasing him, just like the police was after him, that day, and they didn't stop him or anything, but he's just like the police was after him, that day, and like somebody was chasing him, just like the police was after him, that day, and they didn't stop him or anything, but.
Okay, so does that not sound very familiar? The claims of police, these vehicles, unmarked police vehicles, these undercover cops. And it's not just undercover cops, okay? They got citizens out here doing this shit to people, stalking, intentionally provoking the individual, right? And what they do is none of what they're doing to us is being recorded, okay? None of what they're doing to us is being exposed. What they expose is your reaction. So that's how they're able to fool the masses and the unwitting people that don't know anything about this. They will paint the narrative of the targeted individual as being a person who is mentally unstable, who is a drug addict, alcoholic, whatever the narrative they want to paint, so that they can cover up this massive crime that has been going on for years. And a lot of the people that behind it are these people that are millionaires that pay these people in these intelligence agencies and corrupt law enforcement officials to go after certain people. Then they have the whole FISA 702 program. I mean, the rabbit hole is very deep, and there are many layers to this. There are many elements to it. So yet again, another news story of an individual who's claiming that they're being followed and fucked with by police. This is the same shit that happens with me. When I was living out of my car, constant police encounters. Now that I've lived in a residence, it's not as bad as it was. They're still trying to find ways to get at me, even in my residence, by way of these degenerates that live around me that they can easily recruit or get to move in next to you so they can fuck with you and then try to find a reason to call the cops. And the next thing you know, you're getting kidnapped for shit that you didn't even do. I should be able to cuss somebody out and not go to jail for cussing a person out, right? But they're trying to suppress the freedom of speech. Anything that you say, they want to try to use it against you and find a way to get you arrested for. And that's a complete violation of the Constitution. But it's a lot deeper than Constitution. There's a spiritual element and aspect to this. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's continue listening to him. His father may be in a fraternity or secret society. I'm not saying that he is. Don't quote me on this. I'm just saying there are a lot of possibilities, and I'm just trying to get people to think and to use their minds. You know, his father may very well know what was going on with his son. He's not going to get on the news and you know, he's not going to get on the news and talk about everything if he's part of that secret society, because they'll kill him, or he will be met with some sort of consequence or demise. So let's continue to listen.
He's kind of on his Facebook page. He's kind of on him, that day, and they didn't feel like somebody was chasing him, just like the police was after him, that day, and they didn't stop him or anything. But he's kind of on his Facebook page. I heard that he's talking about like demons or something like that. I don't know, how that came about.
That's not normal for him?
No, never normal for him.
Has he done, is there any connection possibly to like drugs or something?
I kind of think so. That's my thought on it. I think he might have smoked something that, was laced with something or something.
He kind of thinks so. So he's not even sure himself. When you see the video of this guy, I mean, I don't know his life personally, but when I share this second video, he does not appear to be someone who, he's just the whole sovereign citizen thing where people are just kind of like, they're all about their freedom. If I'm going about my business, not committing a crime, why am I having this encounter with police officers and stuff like that? You've not done anything wrong, but yet you're having these encounters. You have these people that are calling in these false claims. Next thing you know, you're having a police encounter, but if you refuse to identify yourself, that's a problem, and they want to take you to jail. Why am I being taken to jail for not letting you know who I am, and I've not fucking committed a crime? That makes no fucking sense. I don't care who called. Go check with your complainant. Go check with why is this person calling on me? What's going on? What happened? Bring the complainant with you. You have a right to know who is making accusations against you, right? But that'll never happen. They'll make up all kind of shit. Oh, we got a call. I can tell you a lot of times when I was living out my car and had police encounters, there were so many times police officers said we got a call. But when you go up to their police station to get a open records request, a Freedom of Information Act request on the call, you come to find out there was no call. So why are they tracking me? Why are they watching and following me? The police, the corrupt law enforcement, are the ones creating crime, and they are the real criminals. I'm not saying every police officer, because in everything in life there's good and bad. You might have some good officers that know what's going on and don't want to be a part of it. So a lot of them might quit, or a lot of them might want to work in a different, might want to have a desk job or something like that. And that's fucked up, because if you have good police officers in these departments, good intelligence agents in these agencies, and they know what's going on and you don't speak on it, you are just as fucking guilty. Okay, like I said, this whole story might be a psyop. Maybe not. I don't think it is. I think this is a real story. This happened in Dallas. I lived in Dallas right before I came to Florida. That's where I was living in Texas, was Dallas, Texas. I was out there for like 4 or 5 months before coming to Florida. Okay, so let me continue playing this.
like that because he's never act anything like that.
And you said he had lost his job recently. When did that happen?
It's been about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago. That's one thing I want to ask you. I mean, when you found out what they say he did.
Unbelievable. You know, I couldn't believe it myself because he never behaved anything like that. He's always a, loving person. Man, that was my baby boy, and he never, disrespect anybody or anything like that. That's why I don't know if it's the truth or not, but I just kind of think that he might have got hold to some kind of bad drugs or something. That's my thoughts about it.
Sir, anything else you think we should know, that folks should know about all this?
Well, he was never a bad person, though. Never. He just went to work, and he drove trucks too. He all up in Iowa and all that kind of stuff, and
he mentioned that his son, the person that was involved in this shooting, the targeted individual, lost his job a few weeks prior, and he's a good person. All he wanted to do was work. That's how a lot of us are that are being targeted. We're not the real fucking criminals. And it's like everything in this world is being inverted. They're referring to us as the criminals, as the terrorists, or we're fallen angels, or we're the pedophiles, and we're the thieves, and we're the human traffickers. While the people that are really doing it around us get away with what they're doing because they have to scapegoat one person to put everything on them. It's a reason why I stayed isolated for over a year, because I wanted to view this harassment from a different point of view. I said, let me not get out. Let me just stay in the house and see what they come up with. I can't tell you how many times they've had people come by here. These dudes that look like they just got out of jail or got out of prison. These people that look like drug dealers, and they have them canvassing my residence, right, to give the impression that I'm some sort of drug dealer. Look at all these people coming to his house. I can't tell you how many times people have come and knock on this fucking door, and I've never had company here a day in my life. The year and few months that I've lived in this current residence, I've never had any personal company. But whenever my roommate's gone, they always make it, and it always happens when he's gone. These people never show up when he's here, but when he's gone and I'm doing my work from home job, then they have these random people show up. These people that look like thugs. I don't associate with people like that. I don't deal with drug dealers. That is not who I am. But that's what they want. So they can get their surveillance on that activity. But see, when you're smart and you don't show your face outside, because I would usually cover up my face so they can't even fucking see me. They have no description to go off of. They can't say, oh, this is our guy. None of that shit. Your police departments got some corrupt people working in key positions. Some of these lieutenants, these corporals, these sergeants, especially the lieutenants, they're engaging in illegal activity against citizens that are not committing fucking crimes. I'll play this a little bit more, then I want to go on to this video because then you get to hear from Corey himself.
Was just not. He had been driving almost 2 years though, but he was a very good person to me. That's basically it.
Emery, when you answer to Cole, when the community looks down on somebody that shoots officers and stuff, I mean, is it kind of hard to, when it's your own loved one that's
Right.
responsible? It's a weird thing. You don't
Yeah.
want to see anything bad to cops, right? But
Right,
then
right.
when it's one of yours, it's kind of a mixed
Yeah, how do you
feelings,
hold
right?
that in your head at the same time?
No, it's not about shooting anyone. It's about defending yourself and protecting your freedom. You have a right to free speech. You have a right to the pursuit of happiness. And you have these sadistic criminals that are bent on trying to control you and to tell you what you can and cannot have because they feel like they want to run shit. And anybody who stands up to these fuckers, they get everyone in the community to come against you. It's not that many of these people really, but they will try to make it seem like they're bigger than what they are, right? So that they can instill fear in people to be subjugated, to submit to the fear of being enslaved. That's what all it is ultimately at its root is just enslavement. Let's go ahead and listen to this story. It's just 2 minutes long. I didn't want this video to be too long. You know, like his video post, something about this. I don't. It could be a psyop. Like I said, the red and blue is, that's like Masonic. They go off of the black and white paradigm, the good and bad. There can't be one without the other dynamic. So, I haven't really looked at his YouTube page, but just listening to the story and some of the information that's being given, it falls right in line with what targeted individuals deal with.
The wheel of a car in that black SUV.
Information about the suspect.
Our team spoke with Corey Cobb-Bey's family, community members, and the police chief himself about the suspect and disturbing posts online.
In a call with NBC5 Investigates, the mother of Corey Cobb-Bey said she was stunned, saying, quote, "It's hard for me to believe he did any of the things they say he did," end quote. Cobb said a few nights ago her son was driving and said he believed he was being followed. NBC5 Investigates reviewed and said he believed he was being followed. NBC5 Investigates reviewed a few nights ago her son was driving and said he believed he was being followed. NBC5 Investigates reviewed a Facebook page that appears to belong to Cobb-Bey.
They some demons, you see?
A video posted on that page.
Did you hear what he said? They some demons you see. And if you go back to the audio that I kept repeating over here, his mother said that his son believed that he was being followed. Does this not look familiar when targeted individuals are recording their harassment? See, he's not doing a very good job at really, or no, maybe he was. Like I said, I haven't visited his Facebook page. I don't know if he had a YouTube, but when you record your harassment, you have to be very well versed on how to record them. You have to be able to connect the dots and do it in a way where people don't think you're crazy. See, the unwitting person that is to watch this, they'll be like, this dude's crazy. He's just sitting in traffic and he's just recording vehicles around him. But the true targeted individual that has been through this and has dealt with vehicular stalking, they know the vibe. They know what it looks like. They know how these people operate and what they do around the target when they're traveling from place to place. So, one second. Let me go back a little bit.
Demons, you see?
A video posted appears to belong to Cobb-Bey.
They some demons, you see?
A video posted on that page 1 day ago shows him behind the wheel of a car
In that black SUV, just following me for no reason.
Another video posted 4 days ago on Cobb-Bey's apparent Facebook page shows him approaching the door of what appears to be an unmarked police car.
Is there any problem, officers? Nothing?
There was no real.
And you see, it's all this is exactly what we deal with, but the media is not covering what's happening. Surely there have been many targeted individuals that have gone to the media stations to try to give video footage of what's happening, and they won't cover it because it's part of a big fucking conspiracy. It's a cover-up for their criminal activities. They work hand in hand with law enforcement. They got their bogus ass watch list that they have to have people on. They got a federal agency, right, that has no oversight. The FBI, the CIA, these agencies have no fucking oversight. And they're doing whatever the fuck they want to people. And that's a problem.
On Cobb-Bey's apparent Facebook page shows him approaching the door of what appears to be an unmarked police car.
Is there any problem, officers? Nothing?
Very familiar to me. Extremely familiar. Unmarked police car, huh? Let's see. Let's go ahead and revisit my encounter with unmarked police car. Go ahead and revisit that real briefly. Just real brief. 1 second. Right here. How's it going, man? This is why I chose the church parking lots, because it was easy to expose the harassment. Who is worried about an individual parking at a church parking lot in the middle of a week? That's not a designated church day, right? Sundays, are designated church days, right? Granted, depending on what denomination or what religion the facility is of. Sometimes you might have Bible studies on Wednesdays, but I stayed away from the churches on those days. So this was a day other than a Wednesday or Sunday, just to prove what I'm talking about.
You again? Have I encountered you before?
I don't believe so. Someone just called in and said that the church is closed and that someone was walking down by the creek or something like that. So,
Uh-huh.
what's going on, man?
Nothing, just hanging out.
Okay.
And no one called for these encounters. When you go up to their police departments and do an open records request, Freedom of Information Act request, and try to get information on the situation, why was the presence there? Come to find out, no one called. Okay, so let me continue.
Okay.
Have I committed a crime or anything?
Well, I just explained to you why I'm here contact.
And look at the vehicle that the police officer is in. Okay, you know, a person that doesn't know about like unmarked police cars. To me, that was like, okay, this is another fucking perp. So they were trying to set it up to see if I would like draw my weapon or something. You know, they try to check the temperature of the target, right? They fuck with you so much, and then sometimes they'll throw curveballs at you. Okay, let's pull up. He thinks that, you know, hey, the stalkers are following him, right, in regular civilian vehicles. Let's get a cop in a regular civilian-looking vehicle to approach him and see what he does with that. These people know what the fuck they're doing. Make no mistake.
And I'm asking you if I've committed a crime.
Well, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay, okay.
But, you know, when people call us, you gotta respond, right?
Yeah, sure.
So,
So what else is going on?
what I'm talking to you. So, do you work here?
I'm not answering any questions. I haven't committed a crime. What's your name and badge number, sir?
Officer Ward.
Officer Ward, what's your badge number? 1423? Okay. What police department are you with? Richardson Police Department. Why did it take you some time to register that?
I'm just wondering why you're being so confrontational with me when I'm just doing my job coming out here.
No, sir, it's not.
Been burglarized in the past.
It's not confrontational. I'm just asking questions as a citizen. How come you're not driving a regular patrol car?
This is illegal.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and do this with you, sir.
I just
I'm
have.
doing my job. I came out here, asked what you're doing. You said you're just hanging out.
I have questions. I just have questions. I noticed you're not in a regular patrol car. It kind of caught my attention when you rolled up in a vehicle that looks like a regular civilian vehicle. So I'm just.
That part right there, regular civilian vehicle. So this guy right here, Corey Cobb-Bey, it appears he was doing the same thing that I was doing, minding my own business. And you get these police officers, these unmarked police cars. If it's not the police, they'll send their confidential informants, their perps, their secret citizen soldiers, these modern day brown shirts from the Nazi era. They'll send them to just disturb your peace. Why aren't these people being arrested for disturbing one's peace? If a person is parking in some remote location, obviously that person doesn't want to be fucking bothered. Okay? It's one thing like, okay, well, you know, we just see an abandoned vehicle, blah, 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 let's check it out. But to continually do it, there's more to the story than what meets the eyes.
Facebook page shows him approaching the door of what appears to be an unmarked police car.
Is there any problem, officers? Nothing?
There was no real
He immediately knew they were cops because that's what's been fucking with him. That's what's been following him. Okay, he immediately knew. In that situation, he walked up. There's situations to where I've walked into some of these vehicles and I've recorded them. Like, you know, what's going on? You know, why are you here? You know, and stuff like that. So
motivation here that seems apparent.
Tom Petrowski is an assistant professor of criminology at Tarleton State University who spent decades at the FBI. He looked through some of Cobb-Bey's posts and says investigators will be looking at them too.
They'll do obviously a very robust deep dive into his online presence, his social media contacts, everywhere he's been on his computer, who he's talking to.
In a news conference, Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia said the department is investigating Cobb's online presence and beliefs.
Yes.
They're not going to investigate shit. They know damn well what's going on. These people are good with their little poker faces and acting like they're ignorant of the situation. These police departments know exactly what that situation was about. They're not going to tell the public because they don't want an uprising. They don't want people to march up to these police stations and get them out of power and try to come up with something else as another means to keep the community safe. You have a lot of these police officers that are fucking criminals. I'm telling you. This was in Dallas. I don't think he may have been the police chief while I was there in Dallas. I don't know. I don't care. But I'm just putting this information out because this is exactly what the fuck I've continued to go through. So when I saw this guy, okay, on the news, and I listened to the story and some of the stuff that he was saying and the allegations and all that, it lines right up with what the targeted individual goes through. Real TIs, you're going to have encounters with police if you're a high-level targeted individual. If you're just some blowjo they're just trying to fuck with and mess with, you're not really going to have police encounters. It's just more like intimidation type shit. My targeting is law enforcement based. It's military based. I can't tell you how many times I've been to court and I've always seen military personnel at my court hearings. Okay, it's a lot. This whole thing that's happening with us, it's a lot deeper than what people realize. But they want to sit up there and say that we're crazy and we're delusional, and it's just, I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it, man. It's like they're taking us out one by one every week. It seems like you're hearing about somebody the same type of situation, and they at the tail end of the story, the person was alleging that they were being followed. All of these people cannot be fucking crazy. You got all these law enforcement agencies, intelligence agencies, you got all these drones that they use to follow the targeted individual, but yet they can't figure out what's going on. It's a cover-up. That's what you call the cover-up. Let me continue playing this.
Presence and beliefs.
Yes, there's evidence that he's part of this Moorish sovereign citizen. We're less than 24 hours into this, and so that will come out. We're scouring through his social media to see if we can find anything that's similar to some sort of type of manifesto.
The Southern Poverty Law Center says some members of the group have engaged in confrontations with law enforcement.
It is not clear from the social media posts whether Cobb-Bey viewed himself as a member of that or any other ideological group.
And see, with this news story, they're throwing so much shade on targeted individuals because there are many TIs like this guy right here, Cobb-Bey, that is posting videos about the harassment and stuff that's happening. And the medias are only covering a fraction of what the targeted individual is posting. They're not posting the real concrete evidences of what we're talking about. That's why I say if you're a TI, you need to really take the time to become well versed on recording your situations and being able to articulate what's happening to you so that the unwitting person that doesn't know about this can identify and connect the dots that there's definitely an issue, there's a problem here. We got some secret society people that continuously are doing their darndest to enslave certain people because they don't want to be exposed because they're scared fucking pussies. Okay? And they don't want to be exposed for their child trafficking, child molestations, child pornographies, all the shit that they're doing in the dark. So they got to scapegoat people and put the light on other people as being the terrorists. That's what this whole FISA 702 bullshit is about. And they're fooling the masses because so many of you have not woken up. So many of you continue to buy into the fucking lie. Like it says in the Bible, I will put a strong delusion upon them so that they'll believe the lie. That's exactly what's going on. When is it going to end? I don't see it ending in my lifetime. I already know that I'm probably going to die before seeing any kind of justice. There's no justice. I guess I'm going to have to see that in the spiritual realm, right? In the heavenly realm. But make no mistake, these people are going to be held accountable. No matter what you go through or deal with, continue to be strong. Do not let these people enslave you. I'd rather die a free person than die a fucking slave any day of the week. Okay, so I just wanted to share this story. Very interesting stuff. You see it in the news all the time. They're not going to label it gang stalking. Just pay attention to some of these crazy things that you hear about these shootings and listen to the story. They'll put little snippets and evidences of this person being targeted. Just like at the tail end of the story here, he's talking about how he's...
Is there any problem?
of
being
another
followed.
posted on believed he was being followed. NBC5 Investigates reviewed a Facebook page that appears to belong to Cobb-Bey.
And see, this goofy stuff right here, like a lot of people would be like, "Oh, this person is narcissistic," or this person, it's easy to paint this picture like, "Oh, look, he thinks he's a superhero." Granted, he may very well be, but what I'm saying is, when you document this, you don't want to do it in a manner where people are going to laugh or look at it as like something being comical. This is kind of goofy, right? This is comical. Maybe they photoshopped this and are making him look this way. Maybe that's not how his page really looked. But there's no way I'm going to post my head on something. And I get the empowerment aspect of it and whatnot, but when dealing with this, you want to be very professional and just be able to articulate yourself in a way where you're believable. They're painting this as like a comic book type thing when you look at this. That's why I say, looking at the colors and all that, it might be some Masonic shit. It might be a psyop type thing. Either way, this is shedding kind of like a bad light on targeted individuals. Not to take away from what he probably went through or nothing like that, but you got to be honest. You got to speak, the truth on the matter. Anyways, I'm finished with all this. My harassment it's not gone anywhere. It's still there. If anything, it is increased, and there are not too many of us out there that are. So many of us they've killed a lot of us. A lot of us are locked up in jails, prisons, mental facilities. Had a few friends recently that I believe were targeted. They didn't, I tried to tell them about this, and they ended up in mental facilities. You try to help certain people. Um, like I said, the main thing is, if anything, make sure you take care of your brain. Okay, this has nothing to do with mental illness. You're not mentally ill. You don't have schizophrenia. You're not paranoid. There is a real threat, real criminal activities that's happening to us, and we're trying to reach out to anybody who will listen and could try to potentially help. That's it. So that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Till the next one.
Hard right now because
All right, I just wanted to finish playing the latter part of his father's interview, Corey Cobb-Bey's interview. Not Corey Cobb-Bey himself, he's deceased, but his father was interviewed by mainstream media, and I just wanted to play the last part of the interview and have some comments on it.
I can't. It's unbelievable, unbelievable that I don't know if they start chasing him or I don't know what actually happened, but I know he had guns in the car, and I guess after they put their lights on him, I guess he panicked and.
You see, they'll put that fear in you. They like to put fear in you, basically, to make you think that they're trying to get you, and they are trying to get you, but it's a lot of it is psychological operations and harassment, and it's geared towards getting you to give a response to destroy yourself. So I put plenty of videos out throughout my targeting and harassment on how to properly handle law enforcement, how to deal with them. If you don't know about it, go watch those videos. If you're a targeted individual and currently having issues with cops, I show you how to deal with them. Okay? It doesn't involve violence. It doesn't involve anything like that. It involves knowing the fucking law and putting that in their face and standing firm on your rights. That's what I'm about, you know. So, just hearing this guy, talk about his son and how he panicked and all that. One second, I'm just trying to find a video real quick. Go back here a little bit. Sometimes I lose my train of thought.
Did I commit a crime or anything?
Sometimes, they do stuff to us medically. They covertly drug us with narcotics. They put stuff in our food, our water. There's so much shit that a targeted individual goes through that a lot of people just don't even know. They paint all of us so crazy and like, oh, they're delusional, they're this, that. Until you go through this yourself, you have no fucking clue what this shit is like. Do I sound like a crazy person? I'm a 6'1", 190-pound black man. I'm highly intelligent. I have high intuition. Okay. I'm not as stupid as these people try to make it seem like I am. I articulate well. Do I sound like a person that's crazy and doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about? Excuse my French. But, you know, that's the picture they try to paint. One second. I was trying to get to a point. One moment.
Put their lights on him. I guess he panicked and
They put this lights on him, and I guess he panicked and he had guns in the vehicle.
just went from there all the way.
My last question for you, Mr. Amber.
There and just went on him. I guess after they put their lights on him, I guess he panicked and actually happened. But I know he had guns in the car.
Okay. One second. So I'm just trying to get to a police encounter where I had guns in the car, and you don't panic. You know, if you've not done no wrong, there's no reason for you to panic. Okay. I don't know all the circumstances surrounding the encounter. He must have felt really threatened, rightfully so. But like I said, maybe he was like he just came into the awareness he was being targeted. Because I know what it's like coming into the awareness initially. A lot of us do that have been through this. You come into the awareness that you are being stalked and followed and harassed by fucking cops. Some people freak out. You know what I mean? Not everybody is as calm-minded and is as cool as some other TIs in dealing with police encounters. They get really enraged, and it's rightfully so. I'm not saying that they're wrong in doing that, but at the same time, you want to try to live long enough to get justice, right? You want to try to see things through and try to deal with it as smart as you can so that you can try to get some of these people fucking locked up or get some sort of justice. Just one second here.
Believe, and you told me you didn't have. Oh, Tuco. Work for a security company?
I'm not answering any questions.
Work for a security company?
I'm not answering any questions.
Well, if you would just work with us, then...
I don't have to work with you. I have not committed a crime. You've disturbed my evening. I have to work in the morning.
It's morning. It's not evening. Let's be accurate.
I'm not answering any questions.
Okay.
I'm not have consent to. You do not have consent. This one is an officer, Sasquatch. I committed a crime.
He's not in your vehicle. Do you have a license for your
I'm not answering any questions.
Okay.
I have not committed a crime. I'm not answering no questions.
Okay, there's guns in the back seat.
I'm not answering no questions.
Yeah, did you hear what he said? There's guns in the back seat. So clearly he saw that I had firearms in the back of my vehicle. Okay, I didn't panic. I still remained calm. I don't know what happened to him. Like I said, I don't know the circumstances surrounding Corey Cobb-Bey. But like I said, when you're dealing with police, even though we know what's going on, we know that a lot of them are corrupt. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. They own some shady stuff. I don't know the circumstances that made him feel like he needed to do what he did, but I can understand why he did it, if that makes sense. So if you're going through this stuff and you're having police encounters, you check out my videos on how to deal with them. I'm highly qualified to speak on it because I've survived it. I'm still here to make videos and tell you about it at the end of the day. So let's finish this interview here.
And I guess after they put their lights on him, I guess he panicked and just went from there all the way.
My last question for you, Mr. Emery, is this: there are going to be some folks who see this and who say there's police officers dead, there are a couple others in the hospital,
right?
And your son's the person who did it,
right? And
you should have known better, and you should have done something different. What would you say to someone who says that or thinks that? Well, actually, I think I raised him up right. We had him in church and all this kind of stuff at the beginning, and he was, on a healthy food diet and all this kind of stuff. And I think that, I don't know if, because police are killing black kids all the time, and he might have got afraid or something like that,
It's kind of hard to say because I wasn't there.
Well, it's hard to.
Or maybe he was just fed up and said, fuck it. And he got tired of the harassment. You know, his father, either he knows more than what he's letting off, or he's really ignorant. Maybe Corey Cobb-Bey kept a lot of stuff from his dad as far as like what he was dealing with for fear that his family might think he's mentally ill. There's that element of it as well. So you never know. So he's he's giving information to mainstream media, but you never know what he might really know. And again, I'm not accusing this dude of being a Mason, or he could potentially be a Mason. There's all kind of possibilities, right? You know, because we're not there to really see what's going on. But the whole purpose of this video is the same things that are being complained about, the same traits of what it is to be targeted and followed and systematically stalked and disenfranchised and have people brought against us is very similar to what this story is talking about in relation to Corey Cobb-Bey. That's all I'm trying to point out.
To wrap your head around.
Right. And I don't know if they provoked him first or, you know, because, you know, he ride around the city all the time and he, you know, never have any problems. So, you know, I just...
he was probably having problems. He just didn't tell you.
I don't know what provoked that.
Mr. Emery, do you mind showing us that picture of him? You can just hold it up there and we'll get a good shot of him. And you said, how old is he? 29?
And see, this is like the face that they try to portray as terrorists, right? You know, he's got the little turban, the do-rag thing going on. I don't know exactly what it's called. The Moorish people, when they wear that stuff on their head, maybe it's not called a turban or something else. But anyways, you know, it just reminds you of Osama bin Laden during the Osama bin Laden days, right? And Saddam Hussein and 9/11 and Arabic people or people of Muslim faith that wear the covering over their head, right? So they try to, mainstream media was like, look, you know, this guy was a potential terrorist, you know, and you know, they'll try to make it seem like this is what terrorism looks like. This dude, I can almost guarantee that this dude was not a fucking terrorist. He was being targeted and he just got tired of it and snapped. That's a very plausible thing to say. Like he snapped. He had enough of it. So
yeah. No, well, actually, he just turned 30.
Just turned 30.
yeah. So it might be some Freemason shit. The number 33330. Who knows? And this whole story might be a psyop. They said a police officer died. One was in critical condition. The other one, I forgot what they said about the third officer. But I'm just sharing this because this shit is really happening to people. They attempt to do this shit to me all the time, but I'm a whole lot smarter than these stupid motherfuckers. And I have the ability to see, and I'm highly aware. My situational awareness is very keen, and you as a survivor of this, you also have to have great intuition and situational awareness of what's really going on around you when these people are trying to plot. God talks to me without words. He puts feelings on my soul and my spirit. So I'm able to feel my environment. I'm able to feel shit that's going on. I don't even have to be I don't even have to be in the house next door to know what's going on. And it's people like that they don't want around because those are the people that can expose the evil that they're doing. Anyways, I just wanted to add that as well. I didn't mean for the video to be this long. Anybody who has watched this, I appreciate you watching and taking the time to listen. You can learn from this. 2014 was when my targeting became overt. Again, I was targeted before 2014. I just chalked it up to bad luck in, just having bad luck in life, or maybe there's something wrong with me. But 2014, the secret society, the club that George Carlin talked about, it's a club and we ain't in it. That club made it clear that I was being targeted in 2014. They wanted me to know. And I have survived that shit ever since. I've never been thrown into a mental facility. Yes, I've been jailed. I've been brought up on charges for things, felonies and misdemeanors, and all my shits get dismissed. You know why? Because they're fucking with me. Just like Cat Williams said on his video when they came after him. You never go to jury trial because they're fucking with you. They just want you to go to the courts, go to these resets, prolong your court cases, keep you coming up to the court so they can gang stalk you more, so they can try to provoke you to anger so that you get more charges, and then they have more proof of you being quote unquote crazy or unstable emotionally. but nobody's reporting the stuff that's being done to us. Okay. Again, just putting more truth out there. I don't know how much more truth needs to be put out there for people to wake the fuck up and to come together. But we as targeted individuals, I don't like to use that term anymore. I like to say survivors of organized stalking and harassment because that's what we are. We got to come together at some point, and not have fear of any type of repercussion or retaliation, because that's what they want. If they can control you through fear, if they end up making you submissive to them, they've won. And you can't let that fucking happen. Do not be afraid to help your fellow brother and sister that's going through this. Do not be afraid to do that. Okay? Um, God knows, like if I had the resources, even in my poverty, I've helped people financially. I don't brag about what I do for people online because that's not the type of person I am. I do it from the heart, and I do it because I just want I want better for that person, right? You make sacrifices and you do things for other people because you genuinely care and you want better for them. Okay? So, anyways, I've said enough. Thanks for watching.